Alright guys, so today I'm joined by two incredible supporters of the campaign, Michelle Stephenson and Michael Falzon. So, welcome to come in guys. So how's it been, like, obviously since you did the campaign, have you had some good responses from doing it?
I have actually had a lot of positive response. People have come to me and asked me what it is, which it's funny, it was kind of unexpected because when you commit to supporting something like this, it's personal. But of course, once you're reaching the platform that is growing, people are saying, okay, well, can you tell me a little bit more about it? And then they get chatting at my work. And then the whole crux of it was to get people talking, and I've found that people are actually asking, and it is opening up those conversations.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, it was because it was about sharing kind of a personal story as well, along with the picture. The picture itself was so beautiful and quite confronting, I think, for other people, even for myself, to kind of take a look at myself in that kind of moment of rawness, because, you know, everything we put out, especially in what I do and probably what you do, is so filtered that to put something out that was kind of a little bit raw, kind of, you know, there was a level of hesitation, and then to like kind of put my words with it, which I took my time with, and I felt were important. And I got some incredible feedback, and it has absolutely been a conversation starter. And I think we need to go further with it.
And I mean, I'll address you first, Michelle. As a journalist, for a long time reporting on a lot of stories that all seem to have the origin that it stems from mental health. Do you think these days there's enough being done towards raising the awareness? Or?
No, and you know, it's one of these things that I'm incredibly passionate about, especially like, you know, instances of domestic violence. A lot of that stuff comes from mental health issues. You know, we see parents who murder their children, their whole families. I mean, these are mental health issues, and a lot of times it comes out in court that, you know, we tried to get them a place somewhere, they were reaching out for help. And I just think with the death rate as it is, of women and children dying at the hands of loved ones, even men, I think we absolutely were at a crisis point. Like, something needs to be done. You know, recently we did have that terror attack on Friday, but not just that. Then we had that man who did the rampage down Burke Street and killed 6 people. You cannot tell me that these don't have mental health implications. And
it's not enough to say someone's radicalised. What stirs in someone to push them over the edge?
They're feeling ostracised, or they're not getting the help. You know, the signs were there. I know with the recent incident in Melbourne, the wife said, we were trying to get help. We were trying, you know, so I think something needs to be done from a government level. I think federally, we really need to put more money into this. I don't know what that is. The other thing is, I think it's a grassroots issue. I think we need to start it in schools. I think we need to have these conversations. Our children are like growing up in a society where they're feeling like maybe they're not good enough, they're getting anxiety, they're getting bullied. Like, for little children to have levels of anxiety, I just think we need to stop and reassess what's going on from the grassroots level.
Interestingly, when you raise those points, because in your work, you're reporting on stuff after nothing's happened, and then you're reporting on news, and when people have, you know, whether it's domestic violence issues, and as you said, there's more of a grassroots level, which we can find in the workplace, we can find in the family and friends, where it is that whole thing of opening up lines of communication. So there will be numerous incidents that don't escalate, because in doing something, obviously for the wider community, the things that we've done with mental health and mental health awareness, if that can be done at government level, but as you said, at a grassroots level, if this campaign can help people sort out their problems before they become too much and they do snap.
I think,
that's key.
And I think it's like, you know, we're a society that's more connected, but yet we're feeling more alone. So what is it that's driving that?
Connectedness, I would think.
I know.
Connectedness.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's like we're always on our phones, and now, you know, the iPhones, for those people who have iPhones, the iOS updates that now tell you how much screen time you're doing per day.
I seen that the other day.
Is that an initiative?
So, you know, I was like, I got, like, last week it was 4.5 hours a day I'm on my phone. Granted, a lot of this stuff is for my work.
Yes.
But
it also shows your productiveness, where it's like 4% or something.
It shows you where you are. But I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who's a psychologist, and she goes, babe, 4 hours isn't that much. She goes, I see people who their screen time is like up to 10 hours a day on their phones. So, you know,
it's going to have physical.
It does.
Detrimental physical aspects to it as well. Of you know, having the focus so insular. Never mind the emotional lack of connectedness that you have to an outside world. So,
I mean, have you seen, like, obviously, well, actually, Michael, so you're doing Avita at the moment. Obviously, you've got to do huge publicity and everything's all about socials. Do you find yourself disconnecting yourself from looking what other people are doing? Or, because I know you had to do the official page the other day, didn't you?
This is interesting actually, because a few people have done, you know, classic takeover. And I think Avita's got a pretty big following and fans of Tina Arena, and so they asked various cast members, and there was, with no offence to people that maybe, I don't want to say younger, but this
millennials, you can say it.
No, but I think in some of the content that had been done previously, it was fun, but it's quick and it's snappy and it's gone. And so I said, okay, well, I'll do it for a week, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, over the course of the week, every day I'm going to interview someone, and put that up on the socials, and do half-hour interviews with casts that have come from overseas, with different departments, and allow people to ask questions, and so they're feeling like it's not just a boomerang,
it's a story.
but it's a story. We did it by story and we posted some stuff, so people can actually relate to what's happening behind the scenes of the production. I took them on a backstage tour for an hour and invited questions, and so it encouraged people that were just flicking and looking and wanted just quick little grabs to be engaged, not only in what we're doing, but how we do it, and give them a little bit more of an understanding. And the feedback from that was really positive, especially from the people on the PR side, because nobody had done that before. I mean, it takes things away from the companies that are up producing content, but this was very informal. And I wanted that to be an opportunity where you can engage people in social media platforms, but do it in such a way where they're connected. Because we're looking at things on our phones, and we're looking at, we're comparing someone's life as they present it to our real life. And
100%.
And people are getting demoralised and feeling anxious because that's the life that they think they want, but we can't, because it's comparing oranges and apples. And it's interesting, this whole phenomenon. I joke about it sometimes in the theatre. People are taking photos of themselves, looking at themselves in the mirror. They're not even looking at you. They're not even looking at the camera to go, look, I look beautiful at the moment. I'm sharing it with you. I'm looking at me, and I'm taking a photo of me looking at me.
But can you remember the time when you were in a bathroom and you do it in a private bathroom when no one is around? These days you go into the gym and you go in this, and they do it in front of you.
I know. I'm still of that generation where I feel mildly embarrassed if someone sees me taking a selfie. So I just don't even do them. But on the Instagram thing, like, I know I'd spoken with you, I stopped going on Instagram last week as an experiment, because what it was doing was it was making me feel not good about myself. Every time I went on, I was making comparisons to what other people in my industry were doing, where they were, why were they invited to that party, why wasn't I invited to that party?
Maybe they crashed it. Maybe.
I know, but
you're constantly comparing.
I was constantly comparing to how they look, how they dress, where they were, what they were doing, who they were with, why wasn't I invited?
This is weird, because this is our industry.
Right.
And I appreciate, as we all do, that these are actual tools in our industry. So
I stopped.
Just to remember that it's a tool and not a personal reflection.
And that's what I've done. So I've stopped going on Instagram and scrolling. I go on Instagram and upload. So I use it as like, my page is my page, and like that's so people who want to follow me can see what I'm up to, but I'm not engaging in it, because every time I do, I immediately feel worse for it.
But there are a lot of studies now. You listen to podcasts, you just a smart Google, and there are a lot of studies that are talking about the negative effect that social media is having in our lives
100%.
Because of those comparisons. It is a great tool. It is an interesting way to stay connected, but people are using it as a sole means of connecting when it's in fact doing exactly the opposite.
Well, because they did studies, and the amount of likes that you would get on a page would basically could be attributed to a rush of endorphins. So a lot of teenagers, it's like an addiction.
Yeah.
So the more likes you get, the better you feel about yourself. And so they actually did the studies on it, and that's where a lot of teens, that's why they're so engaged on it, because that's where they're getting their kind of self-fulfillment and their endorphins instead of actually engaging with people.
Yeah, and I think we're losing perhaps the social connectedness that we need as
100%.
human beings. And to take it back to Imperfectly Perfect, it's weird. The attraction for me with this campaign, as you know, is when I saw that first portrait that you did for JMO.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe.
It was good.
I couldn't believe what was captured in that, which is testament to you to be able to capture it, but also for someone who is rampantly social, like he is, to have that moment of clearly opening up. And the great thing about this campaign is that you've approached people in an industry that is constantly masked. It's our job to be on all the time. That and it's more focused than if people are watching what it is that we do, to find out that everybody's a human being, everybody's just doing their job. But within this industry, it seems to be a little bit more exaggerated. That we do look like we're having a good time all the time.
100%.
But we're not always. There are pressures in our work as well.
If you look at my Instagram page, it looks like I dress fabulously every day.
Well, you do.
You get up in the morning.
It looks like I'm always got my hair done, I'm always on TV, I'm always doing stuff.
You got your thongs on, a pair of jeans at work, right?
But literally, that isn't my life.
No.
Well, I mean, I am a bit fabulous, but
everybody is a bit fabulous.
Do you think it's people these days, and why I think the campaign's gone well, is because they want something to resonate to. I'll take it to the comedian Celeste Barber. She does those amazing things where she's comparing herself, and she gets out of bed and she looks like shit. She's doing a makeup and the kids are screaming, but she's gone viral because I think people resonate. These images I want you to show. And I think all the support I'm getting on these messages from people, that I've shared a few with you guys already, is that I think because people aspire to be people like yourself and your jobs and your careers, but if they can see people opening up and sharing a story, I think that's where it goes back to schools.
And this is the interesting thing. And of course at a young age, but it's interesting when you talk about people being aspirational to be working in entertainment. And I think with the advent of, certainly over the last decade, with certain television shows pushing people toward instant fame, having stardom that they haven't necessarily worked for. Reality TV. But also, it should be more about feeling like you can work with people to achieve something, rather than this instant gratification being extended into instant stardom. And social media is helping people think that they can achieve when they're not actually growing as people. They're just growing in the breadth of a fake network of people that you'll never ever meet, and can never help you be a better person or be better at what you
celebrities.
do.
But also on the flip side of that, right, there's like the negative side and the negative feedback you would get. Luckily, I don't receive a lot of negative feedback because, I only have my friends and family who follow me, so no one really cares, and they're very supportive.
They're not going to follow you. It's going to be positive. No one's going to follow you to bag you out.
But they do though. You see some women. Like if you look on Kim Kardashian's,
I don't. Maybe I should look at.
I have to. It's for work. I swear. I work in FM News. But it's people do go on there and they can be quite brutal as well. And that's going to take a hit to you.
We're the keyboard warriors, isn't it?
But is there something without necessarily? I mean, again, trying to get back to the cause, rather than saying, okay, well, we're all doing this wrong. But like you just brought up before about education of children, maybe it is in schools, maybe there has to be some more stress on parents to be able to say, engage your children. I mean, I don't have any children, but I have friends and family that do. They say you're allowed to do this for 15 minutes a day.
My son doesn't. He's not on. He doesn't have screen time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's almost 6.
Right.
He doesn't have screen time. He does watch YouTube. For some reason, they have obsessions with YouTube. I don't understand it.
Yes, like watching TV.
No, they'll watch other kids play with toys. It's very bizarre. Anyway, but you know what he said to me the other day? It was very interesting. I bought him a new pair of swimmers and a new top, and he put it on, and he had it in the mirror. And he goes, "I don't want to wear it." And I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "I look fat in it." And he's 5.5, and he's a boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Where would you ever get that from?"
Yeah.
Like, I don't even say that to him. I don't say that to myself, and I'm a female. I don't look at myself and go, "I look fat in this," because I'm conscious of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So clearly he's getting it from somewhere.
And you get worried that then that's going to manifest as some sort of anxiety, and then you carry it through.
100%, because I know you've spoken to a few men with body dysmorphia.
Yeah, like I spoke to the Dr. Emanuela, and I brought it the other day. So although this campaign stemmed from obviously losing a friend to depression, I think what resonated more and went along is, mine was in my 30s, I diagnosed myself with body dysmorphia.
Yeah.
And that was purely because I've been in the fitness industry for 15 years, never had an issue at all until I hit my 30s, and I was hanging around with people around Bondi, and they all looked like they'd stepped up. Yeah, well, we
went
did
to
for a long
the
time.
beach yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I've got to get out of here." I developed some serious problems.
What they post on social media, we don't know what they're putting into their bodies.
No.
So I must have been so naive to think, why aren't I attaining this?
Yeah.
And then that stemmed for me. We moved to Thailand, not from body dysmorphia. But we lived in Thailand for a while, and I just closed myself off. Partly because the cultural difference, I had no one to set my mind off it, and it went into a spiral thing where it nearly broke me and my wife up because she didn't understand it. And now that's 5 years ago, but I see the signs and symptoms in other people, and I just think, where's it going to go? If you're saying your child's saying that now.
Yeah, and I don't know where you're going to get that from.
Well, it's obviously it's the effects of having things at you all the time. It's advertising outdoors, it's advertising television, it's advertising on YouTube.
It's concerning.
It's social media and being, now when you're on anything, unless you're using a VPN, which I use, you're targeted.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be targeted. I don't want to have ads thrown at me because I walked into a gym. Or, I came out of David Jones and suddenly I'm getting, sold white goods. I don't want that constant barrage of people telling me who I should be. And this is the trick today, is that you need to try and build some confidence in yourself through the people around you. If you've got a network of friends where you can have a tribe, which human beings are tribal. We want to be part of a community. We want to feel like we're part of it. We're scared of being alone. And yet we are closing ourselves off and becoming more and more lonely with every generation.
I'm lucky. I've got a great community and I work really hard.
Of course.
And I always build people around me. And if I see someone, if someone's new at work, I will, I'll take them under my wing. I know, because I remember what it was like when you were the new kid in school. I guess because my stepdad was in the Air Force, so I moved schools every 2 years. So I know what it's like to be the new person and building that friendship. And because I was living in Canada 12 years ago, and I moved back to Sydney, and I didn't know anyone, and I started from scratch at the bottom. And it was hard. This city was really hard to get to know people. It was really hard to build a network of people around you.
Everybody feels like that when you go
into
a new job.
It's so isolating when you start somewhere new and you're on your own. It can be really isolating. I had to ban alcohol because I was getting when I got drunk, I got depressed. No, it just wasn't. It wasn't working for me. Now I'm bringing on the alcohol.
Happy drunk.
But my husband, who he went through a really rough time with anxiety. And because he's a modern man he's an incredibly good father, works really hard, but there's a lot of anxiety that goes with that for men particularly, because they try to be everything.
They're trying to
be everything, and so he stopped drinking. He hasn't been drinking, and that's really working for him. He's doing meditation. He's using the Headspace app, which I couldn't recommend more highly. So he uses that like every second day. Yeah, and he just meditates for 10 minutes, and it really helps him. Except now he tells me that I need to be more namaste, and I just tell him no, go away. I know. Every time I get a little angry, he goes, "You just need to meditate." I'm like, "Stop it."
Look, there's a lot of research coming out now about simply spending 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
By yourself.
And this Headspace app, I recommend it to anyone.
Yep.
There you go.
Especially men. I think that's a good plug.
That's a good plug. And as we were saying before, when you see taking people under your wing, in my work, where if you're starting a new contract, everybody's coming in the dark. Everyone's coming in blind. You might know a few people just because you know them from around the tracks. But you know, when you're doing a concert and all these people come together, it's that wanting to create something special that brings people together, and everyone wants to help. But everyone comes in anxious, everyone comes in nervous, everybody has that feeling of, am I going to be good enough? You know, am I going to be able to do the job I've been employed to do? Am I going to be able to stand in front of 2,000 people? Am I going to be able to get on with all of these strangers? But it happens so quickly. And so translating that into any other line of work, you know, if you're starting a new job or someone else comes in or, you know, someone's manager has left, it's about still working toward feeling like you're contributing to whatever it is that you do. I think a lot of anxiety comes from people where, and I'm sure there are a lot of statistics on this, they're not finding enjoyment in their work, and so then
just a feeling of isolation. What are we doing from day to day?
Which I think, then with those outside influences of advertising and social media, it just compounds the fact that everybody's having a better time than you.
I know.
And it's not true.
And I think that's where that kind of whole "Are you okay?" came from. It's like that moment of like, let's just actually talk to people and ask them a question.
But it does make people feel embarrassed.
And
it does make people feel a little bit ashamed. But the more that you can ask and the more that you can connect and the more you can sit down for coffee, the easier it will be for people just to say, "Oh, I'm alright, man. You know what? I had an argument with my girlfriend," or "You know what shit about this, what we're doing at work today," whatever it is, and people can go, and then you're bonding over something which is a shared pain. Everybody has a shared pain.
But it comes back to this campaign as well. I've been asked numerous times on the interviews I've been lucky enough to do, how did you get people like yourselves to come on board? Rebecca, give me human connection. I literally reached out. There's no organisation, there's no nobody behind this campaign except us. Do you know what I mean?
That's right. No one's approached saying, this would be a good opportunity and something we're trying to do. It was
because people think that people are unattainable. If they say no, they say no. If they say yes, they say yes. But if it's something people truly believe in.
But I think this is something that touches anyone, whether you've either had anxiety or mental health issues yourself. Even if that's not the case, you know someone. Everyone knows someone who
I think that everybody